Tonight, CNN Learning special counsel Jack Smith has subpoenaed officials in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. This as part of his criminal investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, Allegheny County carries significance because it happens to be where the former Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani argued in federal court that the election was stolen. So back with us now, former Trump White House lawyer Ty Cobb. And Ty, as always, I appreciate your insight. And this is now moving so quickly here. The special counsel Jack Smith has been sending out subpoenas to local officials now in all 7 states where Trump allies had put forward a slate of fake electors. And he's done that incredibly quickly. What do you think he's focused on?
I think he's focused on, both the potentially corrupt efforts to influence the way the states were asked to act by the Trump administration through individual contacts, such as the long recorded phone call we have with Secretary of State Raffensperger in Georgia, and through the lawsuits where I think he was 0 for 64 in terms of dismissals, and many people have been punished or referred for ethical violations in connection with those. I think he's now, he's got, as I understand it, at current count, 20 or 20 plus prosecutors involved, and I think they are, to their credit, dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's. January 6th itself and the events of the Capitol, we have to remember, are really, while they are the most dramatic indication of Trump's disrespect for democracy, they aren't the only weapon that he attempted to use in his efforts to cling to power. And I think the combination of all those efforts to cling to power is the fundamental conspiracy that the Justice Department is homing in on.
So I want to ask you a follow on that. But first, because we're just days away from the January 6th committee, obviously separate from the DOJ criminal investigation, but they are set to announce their decision on criminal referrals to the DOJ, right? So they've come to their conclusion. Here's what we think you should do, separate from your own criminal investigation that you've been pursuing. So we're expecting that in just a few days. We know they're considering a criminal referral for the former President Trump, along with others in his inner circle. Do you have any doubt that the committee will have a criminal referral for Trump himself?
I do not. I don't. I think they started out with that as a goal, and I think they certainly have put forth evidence which would justify, even in the absence of cross-examination, which I think is an unfortunate product of the committee's constitution. But even without cross-examination, clearly the evidence that they have put forward justifies them to make criminal referral. It's, their referral is largely symbolic, of course. I mean, that the Justice Department is not required to do anything in response to it. But yes, I'm sure they will refer the former president.
Does this give the Justice Department, I don't know, any sort of cover? Does it influence them in any way? I mean, obviously there's a special counsel now, and he is very doggedly and very quickly pursuing his own criminal investigation here. But does a criminal referral from the committee help or hurt the DOJ in its indictment decision?
I think both. I think it helps them with, people who follow these events more locally and, can look to what their congressman on the committee did, as well as it keeps the pressure on in the media, keeps the issue front and center, and it's one shoe that dropped. It does complicate it a little bit just because it makes the Justice Department slightly more vulnerable to claims of partisanship. But, you know, if the Justice Department decides to charge Trump with, you know, the unprecedented, undemocratic, corrupt efforts to cling to power, you know, a stain on democracy like, you know, few others in our history, I don't think they can be fairly criticized.